WIAA Boys State Basketball Tournament Semifinal Friday continues with our Division II matchups. The Seymour Thunder taking on the Cheesemakers of Monroe. Good afternoon, everyone. Ted Stefaniak along with Chris Zwetler from Madison Edgewood. A great matchup here in our first Division II semifinal game. Seymour's experience against a young but talented team from Monroe.
And also a contrast in styles there. You've got the influence of Dick Bennett on John Murphy from the Seymour area. You've got the influence of Bo Ryan on Pat Murphy. Pat played for Bo down here in the southern part of the state. Swing against the motion. We'll see what happens.
That will be fun. We take a look at our Menards points of the game, starting with Monroe. Mitch Tordoff, Brock Biglingmeyer, and Brett Stengel leading the way for the Cheesemakers.
Well, very much a guard-oriented team. They love to shoot the three. That would be their first choice if they have it. They're also not afraid to attack the basket. They set those three young men up very well. All three of them averaging double figures for the year.
And Seymour is led by two three-year starters in Matt Hackle and Mark Leisgang.
Well, and that, veteran team, Hackle and Leisgang got permanent. They rent property down there. They've been here so much. And but Matt, the honest part of it is that Hackle, everything goes around him. He's this is going to be his third straight state championship situation he's been in. Coach Murphy says he's a much improved player year from last year, and so they'll run everything around him and see how it goes. All
right, should be a great matchup. It's Seymour and Monroe coming up in our first Division II semifinal matchup. But first, a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Life has its moments. You deserve the best health care, so you can enjoy every one of them. Marshfield Clinic.
Stop them with a Schlag. Menards is your Schlag lock headquarters. You'll find over 200 lock sets and a wide variety of interior and exterior knobs and handle sets. Right now, all Schlag and Dexter door locks are on sale. This Byron combo pack includes a deadbolt and entry knob that are key to like, only $19.88. This interior set is only $12.88. Or get this handle set for only $119. Helping you improve the look of your home. Menards.
Save big money at Menards. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the hope of the brave?
That has got to be nerve-wracking.
We are ready to get underway here in our Division II semifinal, but first, let's meet the teams from Seymour and Monroe. Here's public address announcer Jim Strick.
And now let's meet the participants for today's Division II semifinal between the Monroe Cheesemakers and the Seymour Thunder. First, here are the Cheesemakers from Monroe. Number 4, Mitch Denur. Number 12, Trent Henning. Number 20, Sean Hart. Number 23, Jake Gross. Number 25, Kyle Cleansing. Number 32, Brian Baller. Number 42, Jake Teasdale. Number 43, Matt Turek. And number 44, Nate Barda. And now for the Seymour Thunder. Number 3, Mike Skinkus. Number 4, Carl Sachs. Number 11, Paul Volkman. Number 15, John Skinkus. Number 20, Derek Denny. Number 21, Tom Reed. Number 25, Jamie Cabey. Number 30, Robert Castillo. Number 31, Josh Linsmeyer. number 44, Mike Schmidt, and number 55, John Nicholas. Here are today's starting lineups. First for the Cheesemakers. At forward, a 6'6" junior, number 33, Tony Cates. At forward, a 6'4" junior, number 34, Chase Selnow. Starting at guard for Monroe, a 5'11" sophomore, number 10, Mitch Tordoff. At guard, a 6'2" senior, number 11, Brock Bildingmeyer. And at guard, a 6' junior, number 21, Brett Stengel. The head coach for Monroe is Pat Murphy. And now the starting lineup for the Seymour Thunder. Starting at forward, a 6'6" senior, number 32, Mark Leisgang. At the other forward, a 6'7" senior, number 24, Matt Hackle. Starting at guard, a 6' senior, number 13, Gahalot Cornelius. Starting at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 23, Brandon Kuta. And at guard, a 6'2" senior, number 12, Ben Braun. Head coach for Seymour is John Murphy. The officials for today's game are Jason Zaranka, Chris Reba, and Pete Freeze from New Richmond.
So your starting lineups once again for Monroe. They go with 1 senior, 3 juniors, and a sophomore. They took first place in the Badger Conference with a 9-3 record. For Seymour, they have 5 seniors in that starting lineup. First place out of the Bay Conference with a 14-2 record. Seymour making their 8th consecutive appearance at the WIAA state tournament, and they've won the last 7 years. They've won the semifinal game and advanced to the state championship.
Very familiar with it, obviously. But like I said earlier, Monroe played here earlier this year in December, played here 2 years ago, and they feel pretty good about their chances too. So it'll be an exciting game.
And we are underway. Monroe wearing their red uniforms, Seymour in the whites. And it's Monroe with the first crack at it. Three-pointer, nothing but net from Brock Bildingmeyer.
Been doing that all year for him. They ran a set play, a double screen for him, top of the key. And a nice feeling to hit your first shot of the state tournament. Monroe, their traditional man-to-man defense. They'll play very physical, and they help very well.
Three-pointer on the way by Ben Brown.
Monroe wants to get off to a good start. 2 years ago, they had a tough time with St. Cat's. I know one of their points of emphasis today was to get off to a good start and give themselves a chance to win this game. Run the swing offense that they've ran for years.
Monroe shooting about 49% from the field this season.
That's where Tony Cates makes his living. Offensive rebounding off of all the three-pointers that Monroe takes. That time he's there for the putback, and it is a good start for the Cheesemakers.
So Seymour looking to get on the board here. Cornelius for 3.
Well, neither team is shy so far. Nothing but 2 or 3 passes at each end in a possession before a shot's taken, and we've had 4 three-pointers taken already. Less than a minute and a half of action.
Good move on the post, and it's Leisgang that comes away with a rebound.
Be interesting to see how Seymour defends the guards, because in the swing offense, they will post up their guards. Seymour's going to run their motion offense.
Hackle from way outside, Matt Hackle.
Well, it's 5 three-pointers in a minute 40, so this might be, who knows, compared to yesterday's first game we did in the afternoon, we're already above that point total.
Three-point shooting, 424 attempts this season by the Thunder. And they're effective.
Yeah, and Monroe, a mere 357, which is a lot as well. We don't see a lot of changes on defense here. Both teams feel good about their man-to-man, and both teams like going against the man-to-man. So it could be an interesting game.
Strong move to the basket by Tony Cates.
That's something he'll need to do throughout the day to keep them honest. keep Seymour's defense on.
Weisgang. A lot of shots taken from the outside so far.
Neither team shy doing it, that's for sure.
John Murphy of Seymour telling us yesterday he can go with any style they want to play, up tempo or half-court offense.
Championship programs are able to play any style they need. Fast pace, slow pace, half court. But when it comes down to it in these situations, especially the fourth quarter, you got to be able to grind it out half court. And both these teams can do that as well.
Weisgang had the rebound but stepped on the end line.
Just lost track of where he was, trying to look down the floor right away.
So the Cheesemakers take it out from under their own basket. Monroe making their 12th trip to the state tournament.
Last title is 1965, I believe.
1965, their only WIAA title.
Silver ball in 92.
And their last trip in 2005. Actually have a 12-16 record in WIAA tournament appearances.
Just to be here that many times is impressive, too.
They got off to a good start, too. They appeared in the first ever WIAA tournament back in 1916.
Well, it'd be an interesting trivia question. You look at Seymour and say, okay, in the tradition of both programs, which team's been here the most? You know, I think everybody'd say Seymour. That's what Monroe loves to do. As soon as they get a good look at a three, they'll take it.
Brett Stengel shooting 23%, actually 27% from that three-point line this season. Brown. Well, can you count by threes?
Yeah. We're just playing horse now from beyond the arc.
8-6 lead for Monroe. Just underway here in our Division II semifinal matchup. Penetration by Mitch Tordoff.
Well, not only what makes Monroe so difficult to defend is if you sag on them to take away the drive, then they'll bury the three in your face. And if you come out on them, they're all capable of putting it on the floor and attacking the basket very well. And when I'm talking about all, I'm talking about Stengel, Tordoff, and Bigling.
Matt Turek checks into the ball game for the Cheesemakers, as well as Brian Ballard.
Ballard was injured most of the early part of the year and has now come on and given him a little more depth off the bench for Monroe. And Turek was injured early also, but has made a difference in the spot minutes that he comes off the bench for him.
Tordoff. Turn it up.
You know, I'm guessing Seymour is seeing guards like this up in the northern part of the state, but they got to get out on them. They got to get a hand up in their face. They have all had very good looks from the three land.
A little more difficult to guard a team when they have more than one perimeter threat.
Exactly right. And a couple years ago, that's what they had too. They had three guys that could do it as well.
Basket, Ben Brown.
Good no call here by the official.
So a three-point game. Cheesemakers trying to add to their lead. Great cut under the basket. A terrific pass. Ballard.
It's the traditional swing cut there off the weak side screen, and a great pass by Cates to Ballard, and a great turnaround shot there.
Hackle. Such a pretty shot.
I mean, like I said, he's so comfortable playing out here. After leaving Seymour gym, he's probably played more games in here than any other gym. His backdoor cut.
Weisgang with the block. He gets excited. Seen him play a couple times this season. He loves playing basketball.
Yep.
Monroe leading Seymour by 2. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Teens grow so fast. Worry about acne. Are moody and emotional.
Get out of here!
It's hard to tell typical teen issues from anabolic steroid use. That's what Taylor's parents thought too. Find out if the changes you see are just growing pains or a growing problem.
Help kids make the right choice. Go to avoidsteroids.com to find out how.
This message brought to you by the WIAA and this participating station.
Monroe leading Seymour 13-11 here in a three-point shooting contest.
Well, we knew Monroe loved to shoot the threes, and not realizing, I guess, but the fact that Seymour on the year had even shot almost 80 more three-pointers than Monroe throughout the year. And you look at the comparison there, how many threes have been taken already?
Taking 10 three-point attempts between the two teams already.
Seymour comes out a little different look out of the timeout. It's like a 1-3-1 half-court trap. Good move by Coach John Murphy. Changed things up a little bit for Monroe. Monroe's faced a 1-3-1 before in their league many times.
There's John Murphy in his 20th season as a head coach of Seymour.
And 8 straight at the state. That's pretty incredible. Monroe they'll run a player baseline, try and get a look for a screen there.
You played a couple times against Monroe this season.
Played them twice, and they can handle anything that's thrown on. Coach Pat Murphy, very good coach, very smart team.
Stengel, great rebound inside by Turek. Kicks out to Stengel. He'll knock down the second try.
Well, Turek knows his role, and he knew that trying to put that back up wasn't going to be a strength of his, so he found his teammate Brett Stengel, and Brett buried his second three. He rushed the first one. That second time, he was much better, took his time.
Block will go against Ballard.
Monroe will try and take charges out there. It's tough to attack the basket because they will give you a path to take the charges, but Seymour's got to continue to attack the basket as well. It'll be interesting to see which team cools off first, because, you know, they're saying you live and die by the three ball.
Carl Sachs and Mitch Tordoff both check in for each team. Under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Leisgang from the baseline.
A little jump hook there and just came up a little short. Seymour is going to stay in the 1-3-1.
Monroe has been very effective with their offense in this first quarter.
If Monroe can reverse the ball against this 1-3-1, it's going to be very difficult for Seymour to defend, especially if Monroe continues to hit jumpers from Dittlichmeyer on one wing or Stengel on the other wing. They're going to work it down now for the last one. Watch for Stengel coming off a double screen, weak side.
Dittlichmeyer knocked down the three. And Hackle with the desperation three at the buzzer, and it's Monroe leading 19-11 over the Seymour Thunder. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
Southern Wisconsin sportsmen shop Wilderness Fish and Game for all their turkey hunting supplies. They carry the largest selection of turkey calls and accessories in the state. And with fishing season right around the corner, they now carry a complete line of live bait.
The Caillou Shop, saddles, tack, and western wear.
The Caillou Shop has 400 saddles and 1,500 hats in stock. Get fitted today with great western fashions, all on the river's edge, Sauk City.
Let the adventure begin.
DC, Daytona, with 2 great friends, 3 great bikes. Awesome. I started on the C90. Can't wait to get it out on the open road.
S83. Fantastic.
The M109R. This bike brings cruising to a whole new level.
Suzuki Fest is going on right now, but not for long. Hurry into your local Suzuki dealer today.
The Engelhardt Center, Greenway Cross, Madison. Your adventure starts here.
Monroe leading Seymour by 8 as we get ready to start the second quarter.
That was a great first quarter for Monroe, obviously. 5 for 7 from 3 ball for 71%. If that continues, Seymour may not make it back to the state championship game for the first time in 8 years. I think they're going to have to come up with something a little different defensively, obviously, and get a hand in all 3 of those guards' face.
There's 2 points for each team in the paint. Very impressed with the way Monroe was able to handle that first quarter. They hadn't been at state in a couple of years, but very confident in shooting the ball very well.
And Coach Murphy stressed he really liked how this week went and really liked how comfortable they felt about being here. And they showed it in the first quarter.
The Thunder decide to go inside and work Hackle on the block, and he hits the bucket and draws the foul.
Well, you know, they come out of the first quarter down 8. What are you going to do? You're going to go to your star to have them try and get you a bucket right off the get-go. It was a great set play called by Coach John Murphy, and it worked well.
Hackle knocked down a couple of 3-pointers in that first quarter. He has 8 points.
See if they make a change. Back to man. That's what I thought.
Spinning move, and we have a foul. See who they get on this one.
Fouls on Seymour, number 22.
Hackle. His first.
Monroe ran a little set there where the tore it off, came off of a high screen, and then went and set a back screen for Cates. It's a very familiar set they run. Tony got fouled as he turned to the basket.
Cates shooting 72% from the free throw line.
He can be streaky there, though, as well. I've seen him hit 5, 6 in a row, and I've seen him shoot a couple air balls in a row as well. But overall, 72% is an excellent free throw shooter.
6'6" junior. Coach Murphy telling us Cates doesn't know how good he can be.
And he carried him in the sectional final game when the other 3 guards were a little tight. Unlike today, he was big for him inside last Saturday night.
Working it back inside to Hackle. Baby hook, and it's rebounded by Monroe. Cates with it.
Well, once again, Seymour went inside to Hackle, which I think is a good move by him.
Stengel trying to get around. I believe it was Kupta. Kupta draws the foul. Actually, it was Carl Sachs.
This quarter will be interesting. Typically, a lot of times when a team comes out red hot in the first quarter, they cool off in the second quarter. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
On cue, Bidlingmeyer. Might be his first miss.
From 3 balls. Monroe put on just a little token man-to-man press here, not really trying to look to cause a turnover, but to just set their defense up, and then they'll fall back in their traditional hard-nosed man-to-man defense.
Josh Linsmeyer checks in for the Thunder. It gives Seymour a little different look.
See if they go back inside one more time, 3 possessions in a row.
Hackle is working the low post. Drive to the basket by Kupta, and we'll shoot some free throws.
Well, it's clear at the quarter what Coach John Murphy said to his guys. We got to attack the basket here before we take another one from 3 ball.
Kupta, 6'2" senior, shooting 77%. He's another 3-year starter on this team.
Very poised. Seymour they'll be around the whole game. Remember last year they got down big early to St. John's and came back and dominated the 4th quarter.
St. John's led by Trevon Hughes, now playing for Wisconsin. Bidlingmeyer.
He was the beneficiary of a loose ball there that came right his way. The defender had missed the ball that was guarding him. He got the ball, and he took advantage of the opportunity and buried his 3rd 3.
Biggest lead of the game for the Cheesemakers, now 22-13. Cornelius buries the 3.
Big shot by Gahalot. We needed that.
His first points of the ball game.
They answered Bidlingmeyer's 3.
Brett Stengel.
Well, you know, these guys are loving playing this right now because in the league they play in, a lot of people know those sets, and they do a very good job on it.
Stengel now 3 for 5 from that arc. Back inside to Hackle.
Smart move by the Thunder to come back inside again.
10 points for Hackle. (25-18).
Seymour's trying to hedge a little bit. Seymour's trying to hedge a little bit on the swing cut, so the Monroe kids are just popping back there and getting those jumpers.
Trying to work it inside to Linsmeyer, but some good defense played in there by Chase Selnow.
Monroe's gotten off to big leads in all of their tournament games this year. And if you look at their games, they haven't had a close one in tournament time the whole way through. They've had a lot of big leads leads at halftime. Easy for me to say.
Well, you were in some tight ones with the Cheesemakers this year.
Yeah. Beat us at the buzzer last time we played them.
Brett Stengel.
Oh, that young man.
Yeah, they'll go to the free throw line right now. And a buzzer beater against you, didn't you? A three-pointer.
Tied at 36, and he found an opening and buried it as the horn went off. So credit to him for making it.
84% free throw shooter.
Our best free throw shooter on the team.
Seymour, number 32, Mark Linesgate. And into the game for Monroe, number 40.
Monroe's done a very good job of finding whatever Seymour gives them. They're taking it, and they're taking advantage of it very well so far.
Matt Turek checked back in for the Cheesemakers, as well as Linesgang for Seymour.
Monroe will only go 7 or 8 deep. Coach Pat Murphy does a good job of keeping them fresh.
Stengel will grab a seat on the bench, and Mitch Deneur checks in for the first time for Monroe. Now Monroe coming out with a little full court pressure.
It's just a token, man. They don't gamble too much in it. Just try and make them take some clock to get it up the floor.
The purpose of the full court pressure, not always to create a turnover.
Right, sometimes it's to speed up or slow down the tempo.
Great save in there by Linsmeyer, but Monroe comes away with it.
Turnover, see if Monroe can take advantage of it. Seymour back to a 1-3-1. They didn't feel like they could handle the swing, so they're going to try and switch up defenses.
Loose ball, scramble for it. We'll go to the possession arrow, and it'll stay in Monroe's ball. The closed captioning of this WIAA tournament broadcast is brought to you by American Transmission Company, owner and operator of the electric transmission grid. ATC, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities running. Midway through our second quarter here of this Division II semifinal. The winner moving on to the D2 championship game tomorrow afternoon. Fiddling-Meyer.
Great pass by Turk there, a little inside-out action. Brock had a good look at it, just a little bit short, but a really good possession there, I thought, by Monroe.
Seymour doing a better job on the glass on that defensive end.
Seymour's setting a little better screens there. I'm not sure that was the shot Coach John Murphy was looking for.
This is the WIA Boys Basketball Tournament, a Division II matchup between Seymour in the white uniforms and Monroe wearing their reds. So far in this game, it's basically been all Monroe. A lot of three-pointers in this one.
Well, they're very comfortable, like we stated a couple times out here today. They played here in December, scored like 77 points in that game. And these kids, they'll shoot it anywhere. I mean, they get out of the bus, off the bus in the locker room and start jacking it, and they feel very good about it. And so far, they're getting a lot of good looks. Seymour has got to tighten up the defense.
Cooked it with his first point of the ball game. Stengel comes back into the ball game.
I guarantee you, though, Seymour is going to hang around and make sure at fourth quarter they're there in a chance.
Senior-dominated team this year for Seymour. Each year, people wonder who's going to stop that streak of Seymour making it to state.
And meanwhile, Seymour coaching staff and players, they don't worry about getting to state. They just worry about the next guys stepping in and getting better every day. And it's just you know, it's just a sound philosophy. Just get better every day with whoever it is.
Shoot some free throws here, and we'll send Matt Turk to the line.
That's the value of their point guard, Mitch Tordoff, only a sophomore. They're obviously now taking away the jump shots. So Mitch then puts it on the floor and attacks the basket and waits for a breakdown and to drive and dish.
Monroe shooting 60% from the free throw line in this game. Turk with a couple.
For the year, they shoot 73%. For a high school team, it's an excellent percentage.
10-point lead for the Cheesemakers. Trying to get something positive here. They go back to Hackle, who has made a living in the paint here in the second quarter.
And that's what Matt Hackle's done differently this year than his first 2 years here. Is he shot fake, put it on the floor, and attacked the basket. He didn't have that in his game last year, and Coach Murphy said that he's a much different player with that added to his game, and right there he showed it.
Hackle with 12 points in this game so far, and Bittenmeyer stepped on the half-court line. We'll say over and back, a turnover, just the second for the Cheesemakers. The unauthorized use or rebroadcast of this program without the express written consent of Quincy Newspapers Incorporated, Wisconsin Broadcast Division, is strictly prohibited and a violation of U.S. copyright law.
Cornelius did a great job there in that, forcing that turnover. Good foul by Tordoff on the floor. It's a good foul. Gave up the offensive rebound instead of letting the guy put it back up. Fouled him on the floor.
A relatively clean game, only 9 fouls in these first 2 quarters here.
And that was the 10th right there.
Into Hackle. One dribble off the glass and good.
Well, I'm impressed with how quick he's being able to put it on the floor and get to the glass. That's going to make him a great college prospect when he added that to his game.
14 points for Hackle. Cornelius with the steal. In for the layup. Left hand off the glass and good.
Well, here's Seymour's run. We'll see how Monroe answers.
5 points now for Behalert.
Well, we remember him last year at the top of this 1-3-1 in the game against St. John's where he let him back. He's very tough defensively out there. Very tough-minded kid, as Coach John Murphy's told us.
We'll see how Monroe responds to this run.
Huge hoop there by Selnow. A very unselfish player offensively. Doesn't score many points, but there may not have been one bigger this year than that one for them.
Selnow averages 4 points a game. He has 4 in this one already. Nice game.
Art just can't find the range yet, but he's got to keep shooting.
Nice game, 0 for 6 in the ball game so far.
Cornelius with his hand on another pass and another one.
The steal. Thunder want to run. Hackle.
I tell you, he's amazing at the top of that zone. I love the way he plays there. This is going to be this little run here by Seymour is going to lead to a great second half, I think, here. We'll see if Monroe can answer here at the buzzer.
Hackle with the kick. 7 seconds to go here in the first half. The Thunder have made it a 4-point game. It was a 10-point lead just moments ago.
You knew their senior leadership was going to step forward pretty soon, and they got Monroe on their heels now, that's for sure.
Bittenmeyer, final shot of the half is short. And we go to intermission with Monroe leading Seymour by 4. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
You've never milked a cow, but if you live in Wisconsin, you're in the dairy business big time. Dairy contributes $20 billion to our state's economy. Compare that to what oranges bring to Florida's economy. It's over twice as big. Or potatoes to Idaho. Dairy contributes 8 times more, and most of that money stays right here in Wisconsin, helping improve all our lives, big time. America's Dairyland is your land. A message from our dairy farm families and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board.
Preparation, determination, commitment. That's what it takes to make the winning play. I'm Jeff Sikich. I've been a coach for 20 years. I'm also a teacher and a proud WEAC member. The values that I stress on the field are the same values that Wisconsin teachers are teaching in our classrooms every single day. WEAC is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and reminds you that every kid deserves a great school.
Every day, you count on the electric system to deliver the power you need. American Transmission Company operates the power grid that brings the electricity to your community. People and businesses right here are using more and more electricity every day. While we build to meet your electricity needs, we do it with consideration for the environment. And by conserving electricity, someday we may not have to build as much. American Transmission Company, helping to keep the lights on, businesses running, and communities strong.
Monroe leading Seymour 31-27 here at half of our first Division I semifinal matchup. Very interesting first half. Monroe, even though it's Seymour with 8 years of experience down here at State, it was Monroe with the confidence and very effective in that first half, most of the first half, I should say.
Well, when the shots are going in, everybody looks good. And they came out very comfortable and buried 5 threes in that first quarter, which they got to feel comfortable about. But Seymour answered as we thought they would with their experience.
Yeah, and the pressure by Cornelius did a nice job there to create some problems for the Cheesemakers.
Right. The first time they put the 1-3-1 on, they weren't getting much out of it, but they stuck with it. And then Galahot, Cornelius at the top of that zone has been a huge difference.
All right, it's right now just a 4-point ball game, and we'll come back with some highlights and some stats in just a moment. But first, we want to go upstairs to Brian Groff.
All right, Ted and Chris, we look forward to that. Now, for those of you who follow the WIAA basketball tournament year after year, you do notice that some of these players go on to play some more games right here on the Kohl Center. Of course, members of the Wisconsin Badgers. Matt Zahn from WKOW-TV in Madison takes us along on a trip down memory lane.
There's nothing quite like playing in the state tournament, even if you do come up a little short, like 3 current Badgers did. Marcus Landry and his Milwaukee Vincent Vikings made it all the way to the 2005 Division I championship game before falling. Young Brett Valentine's Verona Wildcats made it to state last year, but fell in the D1 quarterfinals. And Brian Butch scored a state record 45 points in a quarterfinal, but he couldn't get his Appleton West team past Milwaukee King in the 2003 championship game.
I was frustrated, but you know, I mean, we did everything we could do, and can't look back at it now. A couple of years down the road. So.
Congratulations.
3 Badgers have held the gold trophy high. Jason Chappell led New Berlin West to the Division II championship back in 2000.
That year we had a great team with me and my brother and some of the other guys that were on the team. It was just a great experience.
Michael Flowers had 2 of his brothers with him on Madison La Follette when they won the Division I title in 2002.
Makes the pass and keeps it. Oh, did you see that?
You know, we set our goals in high school as, you know, being one of the best in, you know, in the state. And, you know, one year we accomplished that, and, you know, other years we were close, but not quite.
But nobody can match the king of the state title castle, Greg Steemsma, who won 3 Division IV state championships while playing at Randolph.
There's nothing like winning the last game of your season. I mean, there's so many teams that come in and have a successful year, but, you know, at that last game of the season, they just, you know, can't get it done.
And the nice thing is that Steemsma doesn't hold all his titles against any of his teammates.
He's very modest and he's very quiet, so, you know, he doesn't, you know, bring it up unless somebody else brings it up.
They had summer reunion for La Follette, the players and stuff, for that year that they won it, and I kind of was giving Mike a hard time, like, but I don't know if they were the best team in the state that year.
Did he say something about maybe you guys not being the best team in the state that year?
You know, he likes to, you know, push people, but so, you know, it was very good. That was great.
Regardless of that, Greg Steemsma, Brett Valentine, and Marcus Landry will all likely keep at least one eye on the boys basketball tournament this weekend, as Randolph, Verona, and Milwaukee Vincent are all back at state again this year. Reporting for the WIAA, I'm Matt Zahn.
All right, thank you, Matt. And certainly these young men have grown up before our very eyes. When we talked about Randolph with Greg Steensma, the Rockets move into the Division IV state championship game they will play tomorrow thanks to a 48-38 win over Gilman. That one was determined in overtime. Aliva Strum also moving on with a 63-53 victory over Suring. Lance Rongstad leads the way with 24 points for Aliva Strum. Moving into this afternoon's Division II semifinals, we're at halftime as Monroe has a 4-point lead on Seymour, 31-27. The game coming up right after this one. Port Washington with a 16-9 record goes up against Wisconsin Dells, which counters with an 18-7 mark. We'll have a tip with that at approximately 3:15. Now, the teams that won yesterday in the quarterfinals move into Division I semifinals. Great matchup right here. Oshkosh West, the defending Division I state champions, will take on Wausau East, the Lumberjacks out of the Wisconsin Valley, with a tip-off of 6:35. And the last semifinal of the day features Kimberly, the surprise team of the basketball tournament, with a 13-12 mark. They just keep rolling along, facing a very tough Milwaukee Vincent squad, a team with so much tradition down here at the Kohl Center, playing for another state championship. Approximate tip for that one is at 8:15. We have already booked D4 championships with Aliva Strum and Randolph tomorrow, kicking things off. And then in the 6:35 game in Division III, you'll find La Crosse Aquinas against St. Catherine's, a couple of teams with state titles on their resume from recent history here in Madison. That does it for up top. We'll send it now courtside to Ted and Chris.
Chris Bryan looks great right now. I would think he'd be a little more nervous. His wife is about to give birth to another baby. Kim Kemp, his wife, is from Seymour. So
he's got two things to worry about. If his wife's going to be in a good mood if they have the kid, or if the wife's going to be in a bad mood if Seymour doesn't come on. So
yeah, just take it easy, Kim. We're thinking about you. Yeah. We'll get through this game.
Breathe deeply.
Well, let's talk about this game right now. Let's show you some highlights from that first half. And Monroe really came out comfortable, and they were very confident from that three-point line.
Yeah, and that's what Coach Murphy said all week. He liked the way they practiced. He liked the fact that they'd been here before, and you could tell early on how they played.
Seymour was answering 3 for 3 early in this game, and then decided in the second quarter to try to attack the paint.
And I think that was an excellent move by Coach John Murphy. Come out in the second quarter, they went inside 3 straight possessions, and then they started to bother Monroe with this 1-3-1 half-court trap led by Gullaholt Cornelius, who did a great job of disrupting Monroe's flow on the offensive end.
Monroe very effective so far from the three-point line, shooting 54%. That's a phenomenal stat from three-point range.
Well, and you got to wonder if they'll keep it up. I know they'll keep shooting it from there, and I've seen them. They're streaky that way. They can have another quarter like they did in the first, or they could slow down. It's all going to depend on what Seymour does defensively. But again, I'll say, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. So they have got to figure out and continue to talk and encourage Mitch Tordoff to continue to attack the basket and dish it off.
Monroe is controlling the boards with 16 rebounds so far in this game, but it's been Seymour controlling the paint.
Well, yeah, and inside now, because they came on the second quarter and decided to go to Hackle inside. And a key factor for Seymour is that Mark Leisgang hasn't scored yet in this game, and they're still within 4 points. So I think they got to feel good about that.
We take a look at our leading scorers so far in this one. Stengel leading the way with 11 points. Bidlingmeyer 9, Selnow 4.
And Chase has not been a scorer for him this year much. He's been kind of a role player, but he had a big shot there when Seymour was making the run. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half.
Hackle leading the way for Seymour. He is 7 for 9 from the field.
And we expected that. Like I said, it's his 3rd straight year here, and he loves playing here.
All right, getting ready for the second half to begin. We will start that in just a moment, but first we're going to take a timeout to hear a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station.
Southern Wisconsin Sportsman shop Wilderness Fish and Game for all their turkey hunting supplies. They carry the largest selection of turkey calls and accessories in the state. And with fishing season right around the corner, they now carry a complete line of live bait.
The Caillou Shop, saddles, tack, and western wear.
The Caillou Shop has 400 saddles and 1,500 hats in stock. Get fitted today with great western fashions, all on the river's edge, Sauk City.
Let the adventure begin.
American, the best furniture brands for less. American, the low price guaranteed.
American, this 61-inch JVC high-definition TV free.
This $2,000 61-inch JVC high-definition TV is free with all furniture purchases $3,200 and up. A 26-inch LCD high-definition TV is free with all furniture purchases $2,000 and up.
Great selection.
A 61-inch HD TV free.
That's American.
Monroe leading Seymour 31-27 as we get ready to start the third quarter of this Division II semifinal. The winner of this one will take on the winner of Wisconsin Dells and Port Washington. That game coming up following this one. And Monroe, as we talked about, shooting very well from the three-point line. They could end up with a record later today, a record currently owned by Seymour.
Yeah, 2004, Seymour took 19 threes, made 10 of them. That's the record now. Monroe already has 7 with a whole second half to go. And I can guarantee you they're going to probably fire up another 10 or so this second half.
When Seymour made those 10 three-pointers back in 2004, they actually lost that title game.
I believe that was the St. Cats.
St. Cats, will see them tomorrow in the Division III state championship game. Weisgang trying to get going.
Well, it was clearly a set play for Mark to try and get him on the board the second half to help Seymour's cause here. That looked like a better shot than a couple of the ones he took early in the first half. Seymour stays in their 1-3-1 half-court trap. And Monroe's first shot's a 3, 7-1.
Just underway here in the third quarter.
Seymour running their motion offense. Out of pass, give and goes, pass and screen away, hard cuts.
Another three-point attempt. So the Thunder decided to attack from the outside like they did in the first quarter.
They're trying to catch up to Monroe, I think, with their threes. I'm not sure Coach Murphy's happy about either of those shots. I think the first one he's okay with, but not that one. They got back into it by going inside.
Stangle.
You have to guard him. He's just too good a player that way. He's comfortable. He's on balance. He just hit his 4th three-pointer. They've got to get somebody on him.
14 points in this ball game already for Stangle. Ackles hit a couple of threes already for Seymour, but did a lot of damage in the paint in that second quarter.
Brett's got 2 older brothers of his that are much bigger than he is, so he makes his living at home shooting it from the outside in the driveway.
Weisgang. There he goes.
He's a very confident player. He has not let it bother him at all. He hadn't scored. Those 2 shots he took to start this half were very confident, and he knew eventually he was going to get going, and Seymour's going to need him to get going.
And now Monroe starting to work the paint a little bit.
Oh, very well, Coach. As soon as they cover the outside, they're going to have people in position to go inside. Seymour's going to have to decide if they want to stay in that zone now again or go back to man.
Turnover by the Thunder. Just their 3rd.
Been a very clean played game as far as that goes. Cook the penetrated baseline. He didn't have a bailout move when they cut him off. Now Seymour's back to man.
Monroe with a chance to increase that lead. See if they try to work it back inside. Strong move to the basket. Stangle again.
We talked about their defense on Monroe's guards. Who's going to get the better half of it so far? And it's clearly been Monroe.
Weisgang.
Thought he got away with a walk there, and then he didn't finish the play.
Being as familiar as you are with Monroe, is this typical Monroe basketball?
Absolutely. If the outside's cut off, they'll go inside. They've played so well together, especially the last 2 months of the season. And that system they run in a swing like that, it's inside oriented first and then to the outside, but they've kind of adapted either way. I'm just really impressed with them. When they play us, they run a pick and roll. If you hedge too far, they're able to cut to the basket. They really know where each other is going to be on the floor at all times.
Sell now. 50% free throw shooter. So you get some substitutes checking back in. Linsmeyer back in for the Thunder.
Again, any points they get from Chase is the bonus for them, and it's going to just make them that much tougher.
So Seymour.
Look for them to go back inside.
Hackle fouled, so he'll shoot some free throws. This was a 4-point game at half. And Monroe, very effective once again here to start the third.
Well, they've scored inside and outside to start the second half. Seymour came on and jacked 3 threes in a row, which kind of surprised me. That was a tough call there for Monroe. If Tony would just chest it up, keep his hands up, left his feet, because Matt really didn't have a very good clean shot or a clean look there at the basket. But because Tony left his feet, he was able to draw the foul. Matt Hackle was able to draw the foul and go to the line.
Hackle played through a double hernia last year. Had a great senior this season. Led the Bay Conference in scoring. Was named the Player of the Year.
Well, you never know. The senior year, you came off the junior year. You hope you're going to get your confidence back for your senior year, and he clearly did.
He'll be playing at the next level as well. He's going to be playing at Concordia.
Division II school out of St. Paul, Minnesota. Excellent conference in all their sports.
Pat Murphy looking on for the Cheesemakers. Murphy versus Murphy in this one.
And I coached Pat Murphy in Platteville in 1988. I kept him on JV, just keep his head small.
Played for Bo Ryan over in Platteville.
Great effort there by Kupta. Missed the shot the first time, stayed with it, came back, and got the put back.
And Pat Murphy calls a timeout.
It's only fitting here with St. Patty's Day tomorrow. We got the two Murphys going at each other today. Would have been even better if it was tomorrow.
Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Right.
In the blink of an eye, the world can change. Are you ready? With insurance and financial products from Rural Mutual Insurance Company, you can be. Life changes fast. We'll see you through. Rural insurance for life.
Add beauty and function to your bathroom in a weekend with help from Menards. Melt away tension in an Aqualux Whirlpool, all on sale. The Caroline installs in a standard tub alcove. Just slide in the tub and screw directly to the studs and place and attach any walls. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Improve the quality of your water with a Morton water softener. This 27,000 grain unit is $349. 50-pound bags of Morton System Saver salt are 2 for $9.50.
Save big money at Menards.
39-33 Monroe leading Seymour midway through the third quarter.
Well, nothing's really changed since the first half. It was a 4-point game at half. Both styles are still pretty similar, except I think Monroe has gone inside a little bit more in this second half.
Most 3-point field goals made in a single game in Division II. Last time it was done, 5 by Ryan Young, Monroe, a couple years ago.
And Brett Stengel's well on his way to tie that today.
Monroe lost to St. Catherine that year. So as we've seen from this record book a couple times, the 3-point shot, even though they've had a lot of success, doesn't always mean a lot of success for the team.
Correct. In fact, odds are with you that it'll end up working against you in most situations. Monroe again did a good job, tore it off, getting the ball inside. Matt Turek has a chance to go to the line and knock down 2, which again would be great, a great bonus for the Monroe Cheesemakers. When you can get Turek and Salna on the board, those are points they don't expect. It's great when it comes, but they don't expect it. And so you can see Matt's already got 3 today, and Salna's got 6.
Tripled his average.
And you like to see it happen right here at the state tournament if you're Monroe.
Turk is 6'3" junior. A lot of youth on that Monroe team.
Yep, a lot of people thought that they were a year too early, but nobody knows that. They just want to play the game and play it the best they can.
There's Leisgang with a three-pointer. His second made basket. He has 6 points.
2 in a row for him, and that's a good sign for the Thunder.
Some great names for these teams, the Thunder and the Cheesemakers.
Cheesemakers are close to another great name. That's the Freeport Pretzels down there in Illinois.
Pretzels. Hackle with the rebound.
Now Tordoff continued to attack the basket, which is good, but he didn't make a good decision on the shot. He needed to have a bailout move and a pass to somebody else when he got cut off.
Hackle going right down to that post, and he will draw, but he will actually have the foul called against him.
Tough call. I think the Monroe player there did a good job of putting his fine arts education into play there, and I think he did a little acting. Official bought it. Made the call.
Second personal, 4th turnover for Seymour.
Good move by Coach Murphy. Take Tordoff off for a minute or so. Let him take a breather. And now Stengel will run the point for Monroe.
Meyer has been quiet in this half.
They haven't given him any good looks either this half. They've done a better job of cutting him off. Now Leisgang just went and doubled Stengel. You can't do that against Monroe. They're very good at finding the open man.
And a steal. And looked like Cook just stepped on the line.
Stepped on the sideline. There again, Seymour, just when you think they're out of it, they're hanging around. They fall down 9, they bring it back to 5. Fall down 10, bring it back to 4. You know they're going to be there. It's going to be an exciting last 10 minutes.
Well, Seymour made a great run at the end of the first half by applying so much pressure. Created some turnovers. They haven't done that much here in the third quarter.
Monroe's forcing them, though, to by going inside like that to their guards, they're forcing Seymour to have to change defenses because Monroe's very comfortable against whatever defense Seymour is throwing out right now.
Brett Stengel with 18 points. Leisgang. Good rebound by Kupta. He'll take it back in. Now Hackle. And Hackle will go to the free throw line. Foul on Turk.
Good hustle play by Brandon Kupta. He's been a factor on the offensive board. Monroe's got to block him out.
Hackle back to the free throw line. Closing in on his season average.
72% shooter there, very solid at any level for that percentage.
Hackle scored 30 points in the sectional final win over Waupun.
And Coach Murphy said he just took over the second half. They were down by 7 at halftime, and in the locker room, Matt Hackle just said, give me the ball, let's go, and then he went out and showed it the second half.
19 points in this one so far.
And he will remain a huge factor here. Now, they're going to run a three-guard weave here, Monroe. It's their delay game, and they're very good at it.
2007 WIAA tournament is brought to you by Rural Mutual Insurance Company, providing a full line of insurance products for Wisconsin's families and businesses. Final 1:18 of this third quarter.
When we played Monroe last time, they held the ball 2 minutes out of this set here and got the last second shot and made it. But it's a weave by the guards with a ball screen down them. They'll look for back doors. They'll look for a breakdown. They'll either shoot the three or take it all the way to the hole.
Kupta almost had the steal. Hits the deck. Stengel. And he will draw the foul on the three-point shot. He'll go to the free throw line for 3.
Excellent call by the official. Leisgang came out and flew at Stengel, which he had to, but then he knocked him down after the shot was taken, so Stengel the line for 3.
Stengel back to the free throw line. As we mentioned, the best free throw shooter on this team at 84%.
Any given night, it's any one of these 3 guards from Monroe, and tonight it's Stengel feeling it. Tordoff and Meyer, they could be there in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's not the guy you want at the free throw line if you're Seymour.
Does this count as one of his 3-pointers? Oh, he didn't finish it.
You jinxed him.
You know. Brett had two brothers play college ball at Platteville at the university as well, and so he's very smart, and they've taught him well how to play the game. And unfortunately for us in our conference, he's only a junior.
The 2007 WIAA tournament is brought to you by the Wisconsin Education Association Council. The Wisconsin Education Association Council is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and invites you to visit weac.org to learn how great schools benefit you.
Postmen in this, they'll flash if needed, they'll screen across if needed, but they're going to pretty much put it in the hands of the guards. And Monroe's very content to just take the time off if Seymour lets them. And they're very content to attack if they get a breakdown out of this. Getting under 30 seconds here. I wouldn't be surprised if they just held it for one.
Stengel comes over to help. 20 seconds.
It's a hard set to defend, too, especially with the talent these three have.
Pulled off, working on Cornelius. Kicks out to Bidlingmeyer. He's guarded by Sachs.
There's the back door.
Stengel, that's the guy you want. Stengel with 23 points as the third quarter comes to an end, and Monroe in control with a 10-point lead. Now a message from your state, or actually your local stations. A message from your local stations. This is your WIAA network station.
In my job, sometimes the work is kind of sporadic, so there's usually a couple of months when I'm laid off. I heard about Covance from a friend who'd been in a few of their clinical studies. I guess I was a little nervous at first, but the nurses at my screening appointment did everything to make me feel comfortable. The staff and other participants have been great, and the compensation certainly helps. Covance is looking for the individuals to participate in a new clinical study. To find out more, visit testwiththebest.com or call 800-732-2528.
NASCO's catalog outlet stores offer more than 80,000 educational, farm, home, and arts and crafts products. You'll be amazed at the selection and value. Please visit our 2 store locations in Fort Atkinson or shop online at enasco.com.
School principals, they ensure a constructive environment for our children, and we think their hard work should be recognized. That's why we've created Principals Making a Difference. Go to WKOWTV.com and click on Contests to nominate a deserving principal.
Minutes and 59 seconds.
Monroe leading Seymour 48-38. As we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Seymour did a nice job to pull within 4 in this one, but the third quarter once again belonged to the Cheesemakers.
Well, and they ran that last set to perfection. They held the ball to the last possible second. The Seymour kids jumped out to a help on the ball. Stengel went backdoor. Tordoff found him, and he buried the 3 at the buzzer to make it a 10-point lead. It's going to be difficult here now for Seymour, but they've been there before, and they'll handle it with poise, I'm sure.
We have seen 33, make it 34 3-point attempts now taken in this game. Hackle with a good rebound inside, and it comes off.
There's something about that basket at that end. We saw that yesterday with King's final shot. That ball just rolled off. Like Coach Goss said, maybe it's an 1/8 of an inch too small or something.
I think Milwaukee Vincent would disagree, though.
I think they would, too.
Vincent sent it to overtime last night in a Division I quarterfinal on a basket that just hung on that rim and fell in to send it to overtime.
Well, the key was they hit the front of the rim. They didn't come off the backboard that time, and it's not coming in off the backboard. It's coming in off the front of the rim. Monroe came out with a set play, got it inside, and forced Seymour to foul.
Tony Cates at the free throw line.
For Tony's confidence, he's got to knock this one down. I believe he's 0 for 3 on the line for the game. And Seymour will start fouling him, putting him on the line if they need to get the ball back. So it'll be important for him to make one here.
And as you can see, he's been getting the job done on the glass with 5 rebounds.
There's
another
6.
one.
Yep.
And then a turnover. Here's Kupka. 2-on-1. Kupka takes it up off the glass, count the basket, will shoot a free throw.
What a turnaround there. Monroe had a chance to go up 12. Gets the offense rebound, gets nothing out of it. Seymour comes down, converts it, and now can cut it to a 7-point game. Big turnaround there.
So cooked it to the free throw line. 5 points already this afternoon.
He's had a big hustle game for Seymour today. Seymour's going to play man.
7-point ball game. We'll get a foul on Cornelius. The 2007 WIAA tournament is brought to you by the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board and Wisconsin's dairy producers. First foul on Gullah Cornelius.
For as aggressive as he plays and how active his hands are, that's, for me, is amazing. But he's going to try and show Stengel that he's not going to give him any good looks.
Hates to the basket. And the charge.
Coach Murphy's got to be careful there. I think the officials got their eye on him over there. Tony, I think, predicted what his move was going to be there. Was it Leisgang stepped in?
Leisgang stepped in.
Good play by Leisgang. I think Tony made a commitment pretty early on that drive. Now, you know, Seymour scores here, and all of a sudden it's a nail-biter again.
Under 7 minutes to go. And then
what's good for one is good for the other.
Yep. Offensive foul against Seymour this time.
Same thing there. Brandon Kupta was pretty predictable in what he was going to do. And Turek does a great job of taking charges.
Second foul now on Kupta.
Now Seymour's showing a little pressure, but I think it's a good move. So now that'll send Stengel to the line because Monroe's going to be in the bonus from here on out.
Foul on Leisgang. Well, Monroe's located about 42 miles south of Madison. Coach Matt Murphy decided, you know what, we're not going to stay in Madison. We're going to commute between Madison and Monroe.
It's a good move. Kids get to sleep in their own beds. It's a 45-minute trip on the roads as long as the weather's good. And I think it's just such an advantage to keep things as normal as possible. They got some practice up here in Madison. They went to a movie up here this week. So they spent some time up here. But to be able to sleep in your own beds, eat the meals that mom's preparing for you every day, I think is a huge factor.
Stengel looking for his 25th point of the game, and he does. He and Matt Hackle have had quite a day.
No, and Brett's very capable of it, as is Matt Hackle. So it's no surprise in my book.
Hackle with the ball will take the three-pointer. Cornelius took the ball and look at it, maybe behind the backboard.
Tipped it up and it came up off the back of the glass there. Seymour's going to stay in low pressure here.
Kupta going for the steal. Trying to create the turnover.
They may find Monroe might be susceptible to this a little bit. At times while in the league this year, we found out a little bit of pressure kind of took them out of their rhythm.
Meyer takes the inbound pass, and Stengel working it with Tordoff. Now they'll get into their half-court set.
They'll continue to attack because they can get to the free throw line on any foul.
Stengel. A rare miss, but Turek in there for the rebound.
Right now, everything's going their ways. But Brett made a big decision there, a good decision there, not to shoot the three. Attacked, got on balance, shot it, and his teammate Matt Turek there for the rebound. And Turek and Sell now don't sell them short. They've played big roles today so far.
Timeout on the floor. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
What kind of tree is that? Is it a maple? How old do you think it is? Can I help carry the canoe? Is it really heavy?
There you go.
Dad, can you swim across this lake?
Life has its moments. You deserve the best health care, so you can enjoy every one of them. Marshfield Clinic.
What one product has the most impact on your life in Wisconsin? You're wrong. It's milk. No other single product impacts the way you live like milk, generating more money in our state than any other single product. For jobs, for schools, for roads, for our way of life. America's Dairyland is your land. A message from our dairy farm families and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board.
Seymour with a great tradition at state, their 12th overall trip to the WIAA state tournament. More amazingly, this is their 8th trip to the tournament. In that 8-year run, during their 12 trips, 3 titles, 5 second-place finishes, an 11-9 overall record at state. And when you talk about consecutive appearances at the state tournament, Seymour with 8, closing in on a couple of amazing records. Superior made it here 10 consecutive years, but that was back in 1917 through 1926.
Well, and Coach commented about his team this week, saying, you know, this might be it for a year or two, and so that the kids were really going to lay it all on the line in case, you know, you never know what the next year's going to bring. But Coach did comment about how, you know, it might be a while before they get back. No one ever knows, but so that's interesting stat, and it'll be interesting to see what happens the rest of this game for them and how their teams do in the next couple of years.
Well, 8 straight appearances to state is just absolutely amazing. But what's even more amazing, the last 7 years, they've been in a state championship game.
Right. So they got 3 gold balls and 5 silver. I'd say that's pretty good.
You should see the trophy case there. Not much room.
Yep. They had to build one. Seymour back in their 1-3-1 half-court trap, trying not to foul but pressure the ball.
But it has been Monroe for the majority of this game.
And it's been shared by everybody. In fact, you could say about the only guy that hasn't been involved yet is Tony Cates, but he still has 5 minutes and 40 seconds to make his presence felt. And everybody else has contributed very well for Monroe.
Right to you, Coach.
Yep, I had a hand target up too.
Hey, you were a post player, though, I heard, when back in your playing days.
My jumping ability is incredible. So I don't have any hair. My head kept hitting the backboard.
Monroe with 9 turnovers now. Nice gang.
He got a lot. Refs let him play.
Took the spinning move on the baseline. Seymour racking up the rebounds and finally picks up a couple of points.
Well, quite a possession that was. That ball was everywhere on that in the half court for Seymour there. And they came up with the loose one.
But it has been a rare positive thing for the Thunder in this game. First time we've called his name in the second half.
But he was on balance, he was wide open, and you would expect it to go in.
12 points for Bidlingmeyer.
Now what are you going to do if you're Seymour? You're going to go man, you're going to go 1-3-1. I think they got Seymour chasing it all over. Or you're going to foul Stengel, put him on the line.
Foul will go against Ben Brown.
Team 10. Monroe now on the double bonus.
Well, I believe yesterday about this time I said Oshkosh West had King right where they wanted to, and King took it to the buzzer. So I don't know if I dare say that today, but Monroe is looking very good right now.
Stengel with 25 points already in this game.
I think he had a high this year of 29 a couple times. So he's capable. This is not a surprise for him to put up this many points.
26 of the 54 points scored by Monroe this afternoon.
Monroe will be in the double bonus the rest of the way. Seymour's got plenty of time. They just need to be patient, which they haven't shown their last couple possessions.
Largest lead of the game for Monroe, 54-43.
Monroe, number 11, Bidlingmeyer, his second.
Monroe trying to win their first game at state since 1991.
They won the silver ball that year. To tell you the truth, I'm surprised. I feel that Seymour's panicked here a little bit the last couple of possessions. And probably have taken some shots that they didn't need to force up right away. So we'll see if they get their poise back together now and get a good possession this time off the out of bounds.
Gupta
felt he rushed that shot too. And the foul, that's a killer there. That foul's 90 feet away from the basket in an unnecessary position. Especially fouling a guy like Stengel at 84% for the year on the line.
Well, outside of a nice little run late in the second quarter, this just has not been Seymour's day.
It's been the cheesemakers all day. And so far, the whole game, it's been dominated by Monroe.
Stengel just somehow finds a way to keep getting to that free throw line.
Well, he plays a ton of basketball, like we said. He's got 2 older brothers that he plays a lot with that are college players. He's just got a good pedigree there, and he's showing it today.
Stengel 9 of 11 from the free throw line, 28 points on the afternoon.
He may get back there a few more times. What's the record for the individual free throws?
Nice game from the outer limits. 9 points now for him, all here in the second half.
10-point ball game, 4 minutes to go.
Well, you certainly can't count Seymour out of this game.
If they need to foul, they could probably foul. They could foul Turek. Really, and Cates is 0 for 4 on the line, or they could force a turnover.
Need to have a good possession here.
There's a lot of time left. They don't need to panic.
Cornelius kicks down to Hackle. And bodies everywhere, and Hackle is shaken up. Holding his side. There were 3 players that hit the floor hard.
I think he got sandwiched between Cates and Turek, and Cates landed in his rib cage area, it looked like. See it right here.
Nice pass inside. Can't really tell.
Or his elbow squished against his rib cage when he landed on his arm. To be honest with you, I'm surprised Tony Cates got up from that. It looked like his leg got bent.
I saw the same thing, maybe a knee for him, but he got right back up, luckily. And
his leg was bent very funny. It's good. Looks like everybody's going to be okay.
Yep. And Hackle had to come out because of the timeout for that injury, but he goes right to the scorer's table to check back in.
This call is going to benefit Monroe.
Brett Stengel, most points in a single game in Division II. The record, 32 points by Mike Morgan for Ladysmith back in 1977.
Well, he's got to be close to a couple things. He's close to that. He's tied the 3-point, I believe. And I wonder what the individual free throw is for a game for Division II. He's got to be getting close to that. Good free throw for Tony there. He'd been 0 for 4 previously. That was big for his confidence right there.
First point of the ball game for Cates. The young man we were talking about, his leg being caught up in that last collision with Hackle, and no effect on his legs.
Nope. Not on that free throw anyways.
Second one won't go, but Cates tracks down the rebound. I think that's the second time Cates has got a rebound off his own free throw.
The ball is bouncing the cheesemaker way. It's a good call by the official. He grabbed him.
Foul on Seymour, number 32, Mark Reinsgang is 4th.
Free throws made in Division II. Most free throws, 14.
So with 3:13 to go, Stengel's only away from, well, he's made 5 away from, that's made 14?
Made 14.
Attempted 14? How many attempts?
16 attempts. So there you go.
So he's got 5 to go to that, 5 to make, and 5 to shoot to tie that one. He could have a triple-double, I guess it would be.
Well, we saw a free throw record fall earlier today in our Division IV matchup. Lance Rockstead beating Anthony Pieper's record. You take any one of his records, you know you're doing pretty good.
Right. We played them one year at Edgewood, and we held them to 43.
You held them to 43.
Held them to 43. Okay. It took you a while to respond to that.
Yeah.
I was going, no, wait a minute. But we won the game.
There you go.
Lost the battle, but won the war.
But people shoot 43 and you win. We've got a timeout on the floor with Monroe leading Seymour by 10. Now a message from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Preparation, determination, commitment. That's what it takes to make the winning play. I'm Jeff Sikich. I've been a coach for 20 years. I'm also a teacher and a proud WIAC member. The values that I stress on the field are the same values that Wisconsin teachers are teaching in our classrooms every single day. WIAC is proud to support WIAA boys and girls sports and reminds you that every kid deserves a great school.
Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you win. And sometimes you find yourself at the bottom of a pile of guys who haven't showered in a few hours. In which case, it'd be nice if they'd be good sports and got off. The WIAA Sportsmanship Award. You gotta be good to get it.
2:45 remaining in this one with the Cheesemakers leading the Thunder by 10.
Monroe is dominated. I'm looking up at the board there, the stats. They're dominated Seymour on the boards in one of the many areas that they've dominated today.
31-19.
31-19 on the rebounds. And that's an important stat to win.
Monroe has taken 26 free throws in this ball game, 17 three-pointers.
And shot well from there as well.
10 of 17 from the three-point line.
That's pretty good.
Seymour, even though they trail by 10 here, they certainly have the weapons and the ability to get back into this with a few three-pointers.
Now Monroe's going to have to turn it over and miss a few free throws as well.
Cornelius had it for a second, and then before he traveled, threw it up in the air, and Cates took it.
That was a great play by Brock Bidlingmeyer. Had it stripped, got it back. Also, again, I'm just impressed with Gallahot on the top there. His hands are so quick, and but he also moves his feet very well.
He's working hard, as all the kids are. Bidlingmeyer to the free throw line.
Well, there's no tomorrow right now for him if they don't come back here, so he better work hard. He missed 3 in a row on the line.
We're told that Bidlingmeyer basically coming out of nowhere to lead the team this year. First team all-conference.
Came off the bench as a JV and never saw the floor last year as a junior off the bench in the varsity team. Very, very little action last year.
2 minutes to go. Seymour still within 10. Hackle. Quick 2 in the paint and a quick timeout by John Murphy. 23 points now for Matt Hackle.
Well, and they needed a quick bucket and got it. Monroe tried to, Stengel tried to step in and take the charge. Almost got it. But Seymour scored, took the timeout, and they have 3 timeouts left.
Well, you're glad you're watching us here on the WIAA network. I know you have a few choices this afternoon. We'll let you know that Texas A&M Corpus Christi leading the Badgers 23-7 in the first half right now.
Wow. Wow. It's like 6 minutes to go in the half, I heard.
And even worse news, Nevada is beating Creighton.
You Creighton Blue Jay alums. Probably going to have to fire the coach. Oh, it's tied up now, according to our famous or infamous Jay Wilson.
All right, well, here comes Creighton. Let's finish up this game. Now we've got a good one here. Seymour trailing by 8, another turnover. That's just what they needed. Cornelius.
And a timeout.
Inside to Sachs.
Now it's a 2-possession game. Now it's a different game. 2 threes could tie it up.
That's exactly what we were talking about with the Thunder. Don't count them out.
Well, and not a bad foul there. Tony struggled at the line, although he did make his last 2. So we'll see how he handles these 2. He gets the double bonus. The 1 and 1.
Coming up after this one, we have Wisconsin Dells and Port Washington in our second Division II semifinal game. Cates 1 of 6 from the free throw line today. Knocking down his second point of the ball game. These are going to be so important down the stretch.
Absolutely, and that was nothing but netting. He looked good shooting it, so I didn't see any any nerves on that one. And now we'll see if he can finish it off and make the second one.
Cates a junior, Selnow a junior, Stengel a junior.
Stop it now. I got to play him twice next year.
Wow, Monroe is just loaded for next season. Back to an 8-point lead.
Still time. Still got to have a good possession.
Nice game short on the 3, and Seymour's going to have to foul. And we'll send Cates to the free throw line again.
Well, he made his last 2, so one would think he's going to feel good about these 2 here for him. And with 1:23 to go, Seymour's got to get a quick look at about any kind of points still are good here. They got to score and call a timeout as quickly as they can.
Cates with 3 points still. Well, the last time Monroe was here, as we mentioned, 2005. They lost to St. Catharines in the first round. Didn't play very well in that game.
No, the difference now, and they fell behind big in the first half there. Here they came off to a fast start, and it's really been a positive for them, obviously, as they're stretching it out here.
Pat Murphy's so relaxed. And we had a chance to talk to him on Wednesday. Mark Leisgang. Good strong move to the basket, 11 points. Can't go to the free throw line.
Well, in that case, the defenders may be better off to let him go. Now, we get a chance of a 3-point play, and the clock stops. Tony would have been, Cates would have been better just to get out of his way and give him the 2 points there. Cates foul out. I believe.
Could be his 5th. It is his 5th.
Monroe bring in Baylor, who will be a ball handler for them, and also a free throw shooter for them. 11 for 14 on the year, shooting 79% from the line. So they'll have their ball handlers and their free throw shooters in there after this free throw.
Tony shaking up a little bit on that foul. Fouls out with the bloody lip. But, hey, he worked hard in their
Yeah,
trade.
but they're up 7.
Back to a 2-possession game.
Seymour's going to need to look to get a steal or a foul. And ideally, the man to foul would be Chase Selnow, taken out of bounds.
They took Leisgang out of the game to protect him from a foul situation. Cornelius to stop the clock quickly by fouling Bidlingmeyer.
Well, and I think that's okay right now, too, statistically, because I think Brock's missed 3-4 in a row here on the line.
At the line for Monroe.
So he's due to make one here.
Shooting 78 for the season. 78%, but the 1 for 4 from the line today.
Confident stroke there.
14 points now for Brock Bidlingmeyer.
Getting better at the name. Looks like you'll have to say it tomorrow, too, so you'll be real good tomorrow.
Minute 10 to decide this one. Hackle. Cornelius, good rebound inside, off the glass and good.
Well, Seymour's battling. It's so hard at the end of the game when you know the offense is going to be throwing up shots, and you as the defense just want to get the rebound. You forget about blocking out, and so many times you see the offense players just getting it because it's do or die for them, too, and they want the ball.
All right, time to take a look at our play of the game, brought to you by etechcollege.org. Online courses for full-time lives. And Monroe getting the job done with a 3-point, driving to the basket, free throws. He did it all. Brett Stengel putting in our play of the game.
Today's busy lives don't save much time for college. etechcollege.org allows you to learn when it's most convenient for you. eTech College offers hundreds of online courses from Wisconsin's technical colleges. You can join the thousands who are learning on a flexible schedule when you have time to do your coursework. Anytime, any place. etechcollege.org. Online courses for full-time lives.
Trailing 63-57. Seymour trying to make it to their 8th consecutive championship game. They've got the experience behind them with 5 seniors, but time is running out on this team.
Well, we had 2 miracle finishes last night or yesterday. We'll see if we got a third one on tap for us today. We'll see what Seymour's got up their sleeve.
They need a couple of quick buckets, but first they got to get the ball back, and they'll stop the clock quickly with a foul on Ben Brown.
Just about what they got to do. If they don't steal it, they don't have much time. There isn't enough time left for them to gamble and let them try and have Monroe turn it over. So steal or foul is pretty much what has to be the MO here.
Leisgang will come back in. They've been trying to protect him. He has 4 fouls. He's one of their best shooters, so he comes in on the offensive possession.
Offensive, defensive set. Pretty common by a lot of coaches these days.
Stengel back to the free throw line.
29 points, right?
29 now, 10 for 12 from the free throw line. Ben Brown is actually fouled out of the game. Stengel with 30 points for Monroe.
He's had an outstanding game. He'll never forget this game.
They came in averaging 11 points. Is this about as well as you've seen him play?
Well, yeah. In fact, in our last game, his only bucket of the game was the buzzer beater. So, but there again, they had other guys step up. But he's capable of it. He's been in the high 20s 3 or 4 times this year.
Gupta. And Monroe comes away with it. 45 seconds to play. And Leisgang will stop the clock, and that will end the season.
Well, it's getting close.
For
Leisgang, yeah. It's getting close for Seymour as well. But there's still a chance yet. I wouldn't call it over yet.
Leisgang had trouble getting started in this game. 12 points in this one, all coming in the second half.
Well, he's got a lot to be proud of. Not only what their community and the school and their team has accomplished the last 8 years and last 3 years that he's been a part of, but he had a great second half for the Thunder, and hopefully he'll remember the good part of this game, his second half tonight.
Well, Leisgang will probably end up playing a little college ball.
I imagine so. I haven't heard where yet, but I would guess that there'll be somebody going after him. State school.
Possibly Ripon, maybe St. Norbert.
I understand that their families are the Gillespie family from Ripon, and they are close.
Seconds now. 10-point lead once again for the Cheesemakers. Gupta for 3. Got it. Well, they've been waiting for that.
It was a good possession there, too. And Brandon Cookdale shot that on balance, squared up, confident rhythm, and buried it. And Seymour now took their second to last timeout. So they got 1 left, down 7 with 28 seconds to go. Anything's possible. They're going to need a break. They're going to need some missed free throws and a turnover.
Take a look at that last basket, last possession here.
Well, penetration by Cornelius. Found Cookta. Bottom of the net. Timeout. Seymour.
Well, here's an interesting stat. Seymour has taken 53 shots in this ball game compared to just 32 for Monroe.
And how many of those are threes?
Seymour took 27 three-point attempts, made 8.
More than half have been threes, which I guess looking at their statistics, that's kind of the way they've played all year. But the fact that Monroe, that tells you something right there, is only taking 32 shots, 21 less shots, and leads by 7, and almost scored 70 points. Shows you that you don't have to shoot it, 50, 60 times a game. You just got to be efficient with your shot selection. Monroe's shooting a high percentage as well, I'm guessing.
Close to 30% from the three-point line, which isn't terribly
Monroe's
bad.
30%?
No.
Seymour.
Seymour's 30%. Monroe is shooting about 59% from three-point line. They've taken 17 shots, made 10 of them.
Yeah. And their percentage overall, both 2 and 3 ball, has got to be close to 60%.
Team-wise, 50%.
Stengel back of the line. He's getting closer. 16 attempt, I think.
Seymour foul.
Stengel 11 of 13 from the free throw line.
Shooting at the line for Monroe, number 21. Brett Stengel, 2 shots.
So Stengel, most free throw attempts in a game, 41. And Monroe has just taken their 39th.
Well, if Brett makes this, he ties the Division II tournament record as an individual with 32 points. And I didn't jinx him.
Brett Stengel. Wow. Three-pointer from the corner. Hackle with the rebound. And another quick timeout.
Seymour's going to fight to the end. That's their final timeout.
25 points now for Matt Hackle.
And they're getting an offensive rebound at the end.
They are trying just so hard to make this work, and they're actually shooting much better here in the last minute.
Well, there again, that's what I was talking about before. They're in a very urgent situation, and so, you know, the kids are more alert to that, and they're rebounding. You know, rebounding's passion and heart, and hustle, and they want that ball after it's missed.
We mentioned they took 28 three-point attempts. They've made 32 points in the paint.
Oh yeah, but a lot of that's come late in the game here too. They needed to do that more starting the second quarter.
Quick foul.
Timeout, Monroe.
Mike Morgan of Ladysmith back in 1977 had 32 points. And right now, Brett Stengel has tied that record for the most points in a Division II basketball game. And again, just a junior.
Most free throws attempted in the game was by Timmy DeCora of Wisconsin Dells, who will play here in about 25 minutes or so at 29. So Brett Stengel's got a way to go to tie that or catch that as far as free throws attempted. But he could break the record if he'd get fouled here of free throws made by an individual.
Cornelius picks off the pass. Stengel gets it back. He will be fouled.
And he is going to attempt his 16th and 17th free throw. If I have that right, is that correct?
Seymour foul number 13.
If he makes both.
If he makes both. 32 points in the ball game. So far, 13 of 15 from the free throw line. He is trying to close out Seymour. Missed the free throw. And Seymour will bring in some substitutes.
Number 3, Mike Skinkis. Number 11, Paul Volkman. Number 21, Tom Reed.
Tom Reed checking in.
Robert Castillo.
Paul Volkman.
Monroe, number 4, Mitch
Robert Castillo.
12,
Mike Skinkis. All checking into the game. Substitutes.
Monroe's acting like they expected to have this happen today, and I think that's a good, confident feeling for them to have going into tomorrow.
15 seconds to go now. And Monroe will get the ball one more time.
We'll just toss it in, and it will be over.
The unbelievable run of seven consecutive runs to a state championship game by Seymour has ended. Monroe is going back to the state championship game for the first time since 1991. Monroe with a 70-62 win. Now a message from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
American, the best mattress brands.
American, next day delivery.
American, free box springs with mattresses.
Select from all the top brands: Sealy, Stearns & Foster, Posturepedic, even Memory Foam. All at the guaranteed low price. Plus, this week, get a box spring free with every regular Posturepedic mattress, starting at just $288. Check out our circular or the all-new AmericanTV.com.
free box springs with mattresses.
Next day delivery. Comfort guaranteed.
That's American.
Did you miss your favorite ABC show or want to watch it again? Now, you can watch full-length episodes of your favorite shows online, like Grey's Anatomy, Lost, Desperate Housewives, and more free. Sweet. All the scenes that'll take your breath away.
Does she know you killed your wife?
What is she talking about? All online.
Seriously?
All free.
Of course.
Go to WKOWTV.com to watch your favorite ABC shows.
You smell that?
Yeah, campers.
No, the steak grilled taquitos. Carne asada, you can take anywhere.
Carne asada.
Yeah, I know, it's fun to say. It's like carne asada. Now you say it sexy, like this, like carne asada.
Carne asada.
No, sexy, like Ricardo Montalban, you know, carne asada.
Carne asada. Ricardo Montalban.
Taco Bell's new steak grilled taquitos. Marinated carne asada steak grilled to go with your choice of dip. To get carne asada steak for less carne asada price, think outside the bun.
Monroe advancing to the Division II state championship game with a 70-62 win over the Seymour Thunder. R.J. Wilson is standing by with the winning head coach, Pat Murphy.
All right, Ted, thanks very much. Well, Pat, I remember the last time you guys were here, the shots didn't go in. This time they did.
They didn't go in, and the other team had their way with us. So we're obviously happy with the win today, and we're one step closer to what our ultimate goal is.
Getting that early lead seemed to give you confidence, but Seymour made a run at you like you knew they would. But your guys poised as they've been the last 15 games in this streak.
Absolutely, and these two guys are a big part of that. So, like I said, I knew somebody was going to make shots early, and I'm just thankful that our guys found a way to get it done, and they played fearless. So, obviously proud of these two guys right here.
All right, let's talk to the killer bees here, Brock and Brett. Brock, first of all, did you feel like you were going to have a good shooting day? Was there something maybe in warm-ups you said, man, I think it's going to go in, especially these threes?
Honestly, I was just hoping not to have a goose egg like last time we played against Cuba City in Christmas break, and I had a goose egg. But just came out, and Mitch tore it off, and Brett Stengel were finding me, and just got to shoot them when they're there.
Brett Stengel, you set the Division II single-game scoring record with 33 points. I bet you didn't know that.
I had no idea. I'm just playing for the seniors. It's their last game. It's their last season. I got another year. I'm just playing for the seniors.
Talk about this team. A 15-game winning streak. I don't think a lot of people, maybe back in January, would give you a lot of chance of being where you are right now. Talk about the team and how you guys have stuck together through all this.
I think I'll go first. I think it was just team chemistry. I mean, all of us played football. We played football together, and we hang out with each other on the weekend. It's just, that's the biggest thing for us, is team chemistry, and everybody staying focused and just playing well together.
And everyone just started understanding their roles. We just play as a team. We're unselfish, and that's what's got us here.
You guys weren't born by 1965, but anybody in town ever bring up 1965? You know what that is?
The last time they won state.
That's the last time Monroe won state, and you get your chance tomorrow afternoon. Good luck, guys.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
Thank you. Ted, back to you.
Well, congratulations to them. They knocked off a giant in Division II.
Well, and they were very prepared. They were very comfortable. They took advantage of their opportunities. They played the style ball they've been playing since Christmas. You know, that's 14 out of 16. Actually, that's 16 out of 18 wins in their last 18 games. 14 in a row. Very well deserving, and you know, they're going to be ready tomorrow too.
All right, we'll take a look at some of their highlights in just a moment, but first we're going to step out to hear a word from our local stations. This is your WIAA network station.